Welcome back to our podcast where the stories behind the screen are told with all the respect and nostalgia they deserve. In 1996, a television series premiered and redefined the family drama for a generation, leaving a deep and lasting impression on audiences. That show was Seventh Heaven. With its story of the Camden family, a minister's family with 7 children, the work was not only a massive commercial success that ran for 11 seasons, but also became a symbol of family values, an unforgettable part of memory. But behind these classic characters were actors with their own unique destinies. Nearly 30 years have passed, and time has etched different marks on their lives. Some became embroiled in shocking scandals, some faced tragedy and illness, and some had to end their journeys far too soon. What really happened to the Camden family after the cameras stopped rolling? Look back at the tumultuous journey of the cast, who gave Seventh Heaven its soul. Stephen Collins as Reverend Eric Camden. In Seventh Heaven, the character Reverend Eric Camden was the moral backbone, the compassionate father, and the leader of a large family. With his calm demeanor and constant offering of wise advice, his character became the father figure for all of America. Stephen Collins' performance at the time, at the age of 49, brilliantly portrayed a quiet warmth and authority, making Eric Camden a symbol of integrity. For over a decade, he portrayed the family values that drew millions of viewers to the show. However, Collins' career was never as stable as his characters. Initially, after appearing in Star Trek: The Motion Picture and Tales of the Golden Monkey, he struggled to break out of his comfort zone. Hollywood saw him as a nice, likable guy, but this image almost prevented him from taking on darker, more complex roles. Instead of starring, he remained a supporting character or appeared on television. When Seventh Heaven premiered in 1996, Collins finally found fame. But it also came with a curse. Being typecast as the gentle pastor, Camden for 11 seasons limited his creativity. In interviews, he admitted that playing the same role exhausted him, despite the fame it brought him. What is most profound is the horrifying contrast between the role and his life. On screen, Eric Camden was a model father, a faithful husband, a spiritual leader who always fought for what was right. In real life, a dark truth was exposed. His career collapsed in 2014 when a leaked audio recording revealed he had confessed to inappropriate behavior with minors. Projects were canceled, footage disappeared, and Collins was blacklisted by Hollywood. The success that should have been the turning point of his career turned into a burden that dragged him into one of television's most infamous scandals. The image of the nation's father was shattered into pieces, leaving behind a deep sense of disgust and disappointment. Today, at the age of 78, Stephen Collins lives a secluded life away from the public eye. His net worth is estimated at $4 million, a fraction of what it was at the peak of his career. His journey is a harsh, cautionary tale about the chasm between image and reality, and a legacy that has been forever tainted. Catherine Hicks as Annie Camden in Seventh Heaven. Annie Camden is the rock of the family, the mother who tries to hold everything together, even when life is falling apart. Catherine Hicks brought Annie to life with warmth and strength, showing us a woman who was both gentle and caring. At 45, she became America's mom, however. Catherine's career path was filled with silent obstacles. Before becoming America's mom, she nearly lost the role after a devastating car accident in 1995. The accident left her with a spinal injury, and for months, she wondered if she would ever walk again without pain, let alone endure an entire, long-running series. In the final season, while fans saw her smiling as Annie, she was secretly undergoing chemotherapy. Hicks was diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer in 2006 and decided to keep her illness a secret so as not to interfere with filming. Behind the camera, she fought for her life, showing the courage her character was known for. Hollywood is not easy. Hicks has been candid about the ageism she faced, admitting that after. What is most profound is the connection between the role and her life. On screen, Annie Camden was a symbol of strength and resilience, the one who kept her family from falling apart in the face of every storm. In real life, Catherine Hicks also demonstrated a similar extraordinary strength. She battled painful physical injuries and a life-threatening illness, all while maintaining the image of the perfect mother on screen. Annie's courage was a reflection of Catherine's real-life battle. Today, at the age of 74, Catherine Hicks retired in 2023. She lives a peaceful life, away from the spotlight. Her net worth is estimated at $25 million. Her journey is a testament to the quiet strength of a woman who was a rock both on and off the screen. Jessica Biel, as Mary Camden. Mary Camden was the bold, rebellious eldest daughter, a basketball star who disagreed with her parents and didn't want to be the perfect Camden Jessica. Biel brought a personality to Mary that was both believable and unpredictable. Starting the role at 14, she authentically portrayed the turmoil of adolescence. But behind this success lay a scandal. In 2000, at the age of 17, Biel posed semi-nude for Gear magazine in an attempt to shed her innocent, pure image. The backlash was immediate. Conservative fans revolted, and the producers of Seventh Heaven removed her from the main cast. What seemed like the end of her career forced her to redefine herself. Even as she built her Hollywood career, she felt immense pressure. In 2004, she admitted to struggling with an eating disorder stemming from the constant need to look perfect. Films like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Illusionist brought Biel massive fame, but behind closed doors, she struggled with her own insecurities. Her marriage to Justin Timberlake added to the stress of her public. What is most profound is the parallel between the role and her life. On screen, Mary Camden was a rebel who broke the rules to find her own path. Real-life Jessica Biel also carried out a public act of rebellion to escape the good girl image and build a successful film career on her own terms. Mary's rebellion to escape the Camden shadow was Jessica's struggle to escape the shadow of that very role. Today, at 43, Jessica Biel continues her career in acting and producing projects like Candy on Hulu. Her net worth is estimated at $20 million. Her journey is a testament to a successful reinvention and the ability to turn a scandal into a launchpad. Barry Watson as Matt Camden. Matt Camden was the responsible eldest son struggling to balance independence with family loyalty. Barry Watson imbued the character with a combination of charm and sincerity that made Matt one of the show's most beloved characters. Starting the role at 22, he became a teen idol. However, Barry's career has been marked by far greater challenges than Matt faced on screen. After the success of Seventh Heaven, followed by What About Brian and Samantha, who Barry's life fell apart in 2002 when he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Chemotherapy forced him to give up acting, and the fear of dying young haunted him even after he went into remission. In 2017, the cancer returned, followed by depression. Barry openly admits that the cycle of treatments, surgeries, and uncertainty left him terrified and exhausted. Yet he persevered, using his position to encourage others to continue the fight, even though he admits he often felt broken inside. The pressure from Hollywood didn't help. At the height of his acting career in Seventh Heaven, Watson was exhausted, living on caffeine and overworking himself until his health collapsed. His first marriage ended in what is most profound is the connection between the role and his life. On screen, Matt Camden was the strong older brother who always took care of others. In real life, Barry Watson had to become a true warrior for his own life. He turned his personal battle into a source of inspiration, becoming a voice for cancer patients, showing a strength even greater than that of his character. Today at 51, Barry Watson continues his acting career in shows like Heart of Dixie and The Gossip Girl. Reboot. His net worth is estimated at around $3 million. His journey is a testament to the ability to overcome adversity and never give up hope. Beverly Mitchell as Lucy Camden. Lucy Camden was the emotional heart of Seventh Heaven, sweet, helpful, and always wanting to be taken seriously. Her character grew up on screen as the third Camden daughter, facing stories that reflected the real-life ups and downs of teenage life. Starting the role at 15, she became part of the audience's family. but playing Lucy came at a cost. Mitchell has often admitted that the emotional toll of Lucy's tragedies, jealousy, heartbreak, and constant tears took a toll on her mental health. In her late teens, she struggled with social anxiety, worrying that she wasn't good enough even while starring in one of the most popular family sitcoms. Her personal life brought even deeper sorrow. In 2018, after giving birth to 2 daughters, Mitchell suffered a miscarriage in the 5th month of her pregnancy when her 3rd child, a boy, was born. She fell into depression and needed therapy to cope. With her grief, she bravely shared her story with the public, hoping it would help other mothers feel less alone. The journey has been fraught with what is most profound is the connection between the role and her life. On screen, Lucy was an emotional character who went through countless emotional ups and downs. In real life, Beverly Mitchell also had to face deep emotional pain from anxiety to the grief of losing a child and a broken marriage. Lucy's tears on screen seemed to foreshadow the real tears the actress would have to face. Today, at 44, Beverly Mitchell is a mother of 3 and has an estimated net worth of $2 million thanks to her roles in Seventh Heaven and later roles such as The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Her journey is a testament to resilience in the face of unspeakable pain. Nicholas Brino as Sam Camden. You probably remember Sam Camden, one of the mischievous twins who brought laughter and chaos to the Camden family. Alongside his siblings, Nicholas Brino played the role with innocence and charm, growing up in front of millions of viewers. However, Nicholas' story took a tragic turn when the cameras stopped rolling. Fame came too soon. He was just a toddler when the show began, and after it ended, he struggled to find stability. His attempts to pursue an acting career failed, leaving him with supporting roles and increasing pressure to live up to his childhood fame. As he entered his teens, alcohol became his escape. At 17, he got into trouble with the law for driving without a license. Later, friends admitted that he drank regularly, hiding the burden of growing up in the spotlight that quickly disappeared. The worst happened in 2021. What is most profound is the tragic contrast between the role and his life. On screen, Sam was an innocent boy, part of a happy family. In real life, Nicholas had to face the dark pressures of early fame and a struggle to find himself. The on-screen innocence was a painful contrast to the tragic reality. However, that promising journey had to come to an abrupt end. In March 2021, Nicholas Brino passed away at the age of 21. His passing left a huge void. The legacy he left is not just his childhood role, but a profound life story about the price of growing up in the spotlight. Rachel Blanchard as Roxanne Richardson. Rachel Blanchard starred as Roxanne Richardson, a confident and pragmatic cop who walks into Seventh Heaven and makes an immediate impact on screen. Roxanne is brave, bold, and not afraid to speak her mind, especially when it comes to her love interest, Martin. She is a symbol of strength and independence, bringing a fresh energy to the show's final years. But behind this formidable image, Rachel Blanchard's real life is much more fragile than anyone could imagine. Under the spotlight and red carpet, she quietly fights her darkest battles. After her breakout role in Clueless, Rachel faced the harsh beauty standards of Hollywood. The constant pressure to stay thin became unbearable. By the late 2000s, her obsession with maintaining a perfect image had escalated into a serious eating disorder. In 2011, she was hospitalized after years of forcing herself to vomit to maintain her weight. She later admitted in interviews that she felt trapped by the industry, afraid that gaining even a few extra pounds would end her career. Her admission shocked fans who had always seen her as radiant and confident. But her struggles didn't begin there. In 2005, Rachel suffered a serious cycling accident. What is most profound is the complete contrast with the characters. Fate. On screen, Roxanne was a strong woman in complete control. In real life, Rachel Blanchard was a woman who had to fight to regain control of her own body, her health, and her life. Today, at 49, Rachel Blanchard continues to work in film and television, most notably in The Magicians, with an estimated net worth of $15 million. She may not have the lavish lifestyle many imagine, but she has found something far more precious: peace. Her journey from self-destruction to recovery is a reminder that true strength lies not in perfection, but in weathering the storms that life throws at her and finding the courage to keep going. Lorenzo Brino as David Camden. David Camden, Sam's twin brother, was the other half of the mischievous duo that kept the Camden family on their toes. Along with his real-life siblings, Lorenzo Brino joined the Seventh Heaven series as a child growing up on screen for 93 episodes from seasons 5 to 11. However, like his brother Nicholas Lorenzos, life took a sudden turn when the cameras stopped rolling. His fame ended too early, his education failed, and he struggled to build a career outside of show business. His frustration led to partying, drinking, and reckless decisions that would define him throughout his teenage years. By the age of 18, he had developed dangerous habits. Friends recall all-night gambling and high-speed driving, and in 2018 he was even arrested for petty theft. The once-beloved TV star was now just another young man, looking for direction in a world that seemed to have forgotten him after his childhood fame. What is most profound is the parallel tragedy of the two brothers. Like Nicholas, Lorenzo embodied on-screen innocence, a boy growing up in an ideal family. But in real life, both were consumed by the same pressures, leading to similar paths of self-destruction. However, that turbulent journey had to come to an end. Tragedy struck on February 9, 2020. Lorenzo lost control of his Porsche 944 at high speed in San Bernardino and crashed into a truck. The crash killed him instantly at the age of 21, a painful reminder of the fate that also befell his twin. Brother Stephen Collins called his death the loss of another son. His legacy is a tragic story of two brothers who shone together on screen and fell into darkness together far too soon. George Stoltz as Kevin Kinkirk. George Stoltz as Kevin Kinkirk, a name Seventh Heaven fans will never forget. A tough but gentle cop married to Lucy Camden, Kevin quickly became one of the show's most beloved characters. Viewers admired the quiet strength, loyalty, and calm he brought to the volatile Camden family. On screen, he was a model of steadfastness and dedication. But behind the glamorous facade, George Stoltz's life was filled with unexpected events and painful trials that nearly brought him down. Before George became famous, his heart belonged to football. He dreamed of a professional career and was considered one of the most promising players during his college years. However, in 1998, tragedy struck. A serious head injury sustained during a game left him with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and chronic anxiety. It was a devastating blow to the young man whose life was tied to the sport. The physical pain gradually subsided over time, but the mental scars never truly healed. His football dreams were shattered forever, forcing George to start all over again acting. What is most profound is the connection between the role and his life. On screen, Kevin was a symbol of stability and reliability. In real life, George Stoltz has had to show extraordinary perseverance to overcome one challenge after another, from a shattered career to a broken marriage. Today, at 50, George Stoltz is still rebuilding his career. He's guest starring on shows like Finder and finding his creative voice behind the camera. His net worth is approximately $1 million. Modest by Hollywood standards, but every penny represents his resilience and survival. He may not be the rising star he once was, but his story proves that even when dreams are shattered, something beautiful can be built from the pieces. Jeremy London as Chandler Hampton. Chandler Hampton wasn't in every episode, but fans remember him as Lucy's love interest, a man trying to overcome his painful past and regain his faith. Jeremy London brought a softness to Chandler that made us root for him, even though life had dealt him a cruel hand. Starting the role at 28, he was a memorable addition to the series. Jeremy's real life was even more turbulent than his character's past. After Mallrats gave him his breakthrough, in 1995, his battle with drugs and alcohol spiraled out of control. What was supposed to be a stepping stone to stardom turned into headlines about arrests and rehab stints. The pain he endured deepened. In 2010, he became the victim of a bizarre kidnapping where he was forced to use drugs and was robbed. The incident left him with chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. His personal life wasn't much better. His marriage to Melissa Cunningham ended in a bitter divorce, including a custody battle over their son. Worse still, his relationship with his twin brother Jason descended into a public feud, with each blaming the other for fueling his addiction. What is most profound is the tragic contrast between the role and his life. On screen, Chandler Hampton was a character on a path to redemption, one who was finding hope and love. In real life, Jeremy London was trapped in a vicious cycle of addiction, trauma, and personal battles. The character's hope was the polar opposite of the actor's harsh reality. Today, at 53, Jeremy London is still struggling with addiction. His estimated net worth is only $500. His journey is a heartbreaking cautionary tale of a talent consumed by darkness.